December 18th, 2025 meetings of the City of Lakeland Historic Preservation Board and Design Review Committee. The board and committee meet monthly to review proposals for changes to properties located within the city's 7 historic districts and buildings designated as local landmarks, as well as to conduct other preservation-related business consistent with Article 11 of the Land Development Code. The board is made up of 9 Lakeland citizens appointed by the City Commission and is assisted by the staff of Community and Economic Development, as well as the City Attorney's Office. The first meeting consists of the Historic Preservation Board agenda, where business of the board is handled. The second meeting consists of the Design Review Committee agenda and involves acting on recommendations from staff regarding certificate of review applications for major work proposed to properties within the historic districts or local landmark buildings. The Design Review Committee is a standing subcommittee of the Historic Preservation Board. Public input is welcomed for items on the Design Review Committee's agenda, and we invite everyone who wishes to participate to be heard. We do ask that speakers be concise and avoid repetitive comments. We thank you for your interest and participation and ask that all mobile devices be silenced at this time. And with that, I will turn the meeting over to our board chair, Dr. Bruce Anderson.
Thank you, Emily. The December 18th, 2025 meeting of the Historic Preservation Board is called to order, with the first item of business being a roll call and a determination of a quorum. Bruce Anderson is here. Michael Porter?
Here.
Marlena Alvarez? Tracy Downey?
Here.
Abigail Hunt Tidwell? Ricardo Jimenez? Cesar Perez?
Here.
Okay. I didn't call your name. Natalie Oldenkamp. Chris Olson.
Present.
I think because I'd already marked you off because you were already here when I got here. And Chris, you have a birthday coming up. Happy birthday.
Today.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I would like to start the meeting with a recognition of the mayor's recognition of the board and offer, or actually ask for a motion that we recognize that and that we recognize him for his service to the city. Is there such a motion?
I'll motion that.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Abstentions? Motion carries. The next on our list is a review and approval of the November 20th, 2025 Historic Preservation Board meeting minutes. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Give you a minute to take a look.
I'll put the first motion out to approve.
A motion has been offered to approve the minutes as presented or corrected.
Second.
All in favor of the adoption of the November 20th, 2025 Historic Preservation Board meeting minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Abstentions? Next item we have is old business, Historic Lakeland Incorporated Watch List Report. Ms. Foster?
Yes, so I don't have any updates on the properties currently on the watch list. There was one addition, and that's this property, 809 Cornelia Avenue, that was asked to be added, and the Historic Lakeland Board of Directors approved it.
Yeah, and so that's not a current picture.
That's not, okay.
This is previous to the problems that why I asked for it to be on there is because they removed that porch, they moved the enclosure of it, and then they removed the deck of the porch and did a whole bunch of other stuff, including they had a tarp on the roof forever from hurricane damage, and it was kind of abandoned and placed from what I've seen from a contractor, so.
So it's all moving in the right direction?
No, because I believe, as we discussed last time, there's an ownership issue with it, and it was attempted to be sold as is while it had the code violations for removing the porch without our review, because they took the whole deck out, which the enclosure, we fully support as a design thing to get rid of the enclosure with that to bring it back to what it was, but they also removed the deck at the same time and had no plans put in place for it, so.
Yeah, I believe there is a code enforcement case, an active code enforcement case on this one. And I'll update that picture for the next meeting.
2304 Carolina was tented.
I'm sorry, it was,
It was tented,
oh, good.
so I think things are progressing.
Any other further discussion of this issue or any other issues before the board? Anything that had been tabled last time? I don't think so.
If we're asking for new business, I did have a question for Emily. In preparing for our meeting that we'll have after next month's meeting, I was looking through the process, and it appears we do have a form and process in place now for nominations I just wanted to ask, is that is good to go live in the sense that we can submit through there, or?
Not yet. We're still working on the actual workflow on the back end to make sure that we have all of the appropriate milestones in order to
Questions
proceed
and all that,
to
okay.
like the board and commission.
Okay,
So it's getting there.
get in there, okay. Awesome.
Is there any new business? The agenda shows none. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
All those in favor of a motion to adjourn signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. And I'll turn it over to my compadre here, Michael Porter.
All right, thank you, Bruce. And with that, the December 18th, 2025 meeting of the Design Review Committee is called to order, with the first item of business being a roll call and determination of a quorum. Myself, I'm present. Bruce Anderson.
Here.
Marlana Alvarez.
Here.
Ricardo Jimenez. He's absent. Natalie Oldhamcamp.
Here.
Chris Olson.
Present.
And Cesar Perez.
Here.
All right, and we do have a quorum. With that, the next item on our agenda is the approval of the November 20th, 2025 Design Review Committee meeting minutes. Does the committee have any corrections or additions to the minutes? I'll give you guys a moment to check through that.
I move that we approve the minutes.
Second.
All right. All in favor of adopting the November 20th, 2025 Design Review Committee meeting minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the meeting minutes are approved as presented. The next item on our agenda is to review the certificate of review cases administratively approved by staff between November 11th and December 8th of 2025. There were 10 cases. Board and committee members may ask questions of staff and/or discuss specific cases if necessary. There's no motion required for this one. Quite a few commercial signs this time, which I guess makes sense. They're draining money at the end of the year before they have to cap their taxes, so. No questions, or we all? All right, hearing no questions and seeing as everyone seems to be completed with scrolling here, I will move on to the next agenda item is a public hearing portion of the meeting during which the committee will consider certificate of review applications. Would Assistant City Attorney Katie Preneveau please administer the oath for all applicants and any others who wish to provide comments or testimony during the public hearing?
If you'll be speaking before the board, could you please stand and raise your right hand? Yeah, stand up and raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth and the whole truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And our first case today is HPB 25-195 at 1926 Cherokee Trail. This is a final approval requested to replace and resize 2 PVC double-hung sash windows with a 6/6 simulated divided light appearance on the front facade of the house at the subject address. The owners are Jeffrey and Megan Lazenby, and the applicant is Value Pro Remodel and Maintenance. Are there any conflicts of interest among the committee members for this case? All right, hearing none. Emily, may you please present the staff report and recommendation?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is a corner lot in the Beacon Hill neighborhood consisting of .30 acres. Upon this lot is a circa 1936 colonial revival house, which is a contributing building in the Beacon Hill Historic District. The one-story house has an irregular plan that follows the curve of Cherokee Trail and features a side gabled roof with a projecting gabled L, aluminum lap siding, and a gabled front stoop. The house also features non-historic PVC double-hung sash windows with a colonial revival style simulated divided light configuration. The request involves resizing 2 windows on the front facade to facilitate a kitchen remodel, which will relocate the kitchen into the current dining room. The existing kitchen area will become a pantry/laundry room. To accommodate the new kitchen cabinets and counters, the window openings currently located in the dining room will need to be shortened. The existing window openings are 36 inches wide by 54 inches tall and are requested to be shortened to either 32 or 36 inches tall. The existing window headers will remain at the same location. New window sills and side casings designed to match the existing will be installed. And this is just a slide showing the existing layout of the kitchen and dining room. And the slide shows the proposed layout of the new kitchen and pantry area. This is a rendering showing the interior of the new kitchen with the proposed new window openings. So this request was evaluated using the standards and guidelines referenced here. And while resizing window openings on a front facade is not recommended typically by the design guidelines, staff finds this request is appropriate given the asymmetrical composition of the house and the fact that the existing windows are not historic. However, to maintain an appearance and scale similar to the existing kitchen window, the height of the new window opening should not be less than 36 inches tall. So staff recommends final approval for the request with the condition that the height of the new window opening is not less than 36 inches tall. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Emily. Would the applicant please come up to the podium to speak in support of the request or provide additional information about the project? And you may state your name and address for the record.
Good morning. Mark Schweitzer.
And your address.
Our business address, 2020.
Sure. Yeah.
2020 Cumbie, suite number 19 here in Lakeland.
All right. And are you in agreement with the conditions?
Yes, that's fine.
All right. Do you have anything else to add?
No, sir, she covered it probably succinctly.
All right. Does the committee have any questions for the applicant regarding the request?
I seem to recall that we had a question, something about where the windows are positioned.
Yeah, we did discuss that, and I certainly would be supportive of if we added a condition to it that, as Emily said, that to have it just written in writing that the head of the window stays matching the rest of the windows of the house. Because, for example, I would not want it to look like the image that's in front of us where the sill is matched.
Yes, sir. Well, they are going to be raised. The top of the windows are staying where they're at. I have to bring them up so I can put a countertop and a backsplash on there, because right now they're down where the backsplash and countertop would be.
Correct, and if they're pretty much going in the same
So-
place as the old windows, it
Yes,
doesn't
sir.
make any sense. to
And I
waste your
did put in
header.
writing in my contract that the headers are to remain, because that'd be a whole lot of extra work.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Nope, I
We
completely
assumed
understand.
that was the case, but you can see from the illustration.
yeah, so that was a generated program that she was having issues with, and she just turned it in and was like, okay, this is basically it.
I have two questions.
Yes, sir.
One is I believe on the right, it's showing a 36 by 36 window, the number's cut off. But since that is a stipulation, that it does say 36 on it.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it looks like it's taller than it is wide in that sketch. Secondly, it's showing a 6-pane window, but the renderings show, I believe it's a 3/3 divided window.
It's
Or
going to be
6
a
over-
single hung.
Okay, 6/6. Isn't there another picture right after that? Or before it?
That might be before. Yeah, I think this is just the same picture.
Okay, so anyway, there's a difference between the two, and then you're replacing a 6/6. Is it a 3/3 that we're looking at?
No, sir, it's going to be a 6. It's going to be identical to the window that's there, it's just going to be shorter.
Shorter, okay,
Yes, sir.
so 6/6.
Yeah, the artistic renderings that we have sometimes don't exactly match what we can.
Well, that does match, it just, again, that sketch that we were
Yes,
all
sir.
Yeah,
asking
that's the-
questions
that's
about
the one
last
that
time
threw us
through us. Okay.
All right, do we have any other questions?
I move to approve.
Oh, we
Staff recommendation.
got a step before that, if you can hold it. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in support of or against the request? It appears there is no one, so if there are no further questions from the committee or comments from the public, the applicant may be seated and the public comment portion of this request is now closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does the committee have any further discussion regarding this request?
I think all of our questions got answered this.
Yeah, and we thank you for coming. We wanted you to reappear so that, since there are conditions on it, to make sure you understood the conditions. All right, I guess now, if you want, would be the appropriate time to have the motion.
Move to approve the staff recommendation is all there.
Second.
All right, and with that, we'll go to a roll call vote. Marlana?
Approve.
Bruce?
Yes.
Ricardo is not here. Natalie?
4.
Chris?
4.
Myself, and I am 4, and Cesar?
4.
All right, and with that, it is, the motion is carried, and you are approved per staff recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our next case and our last one for today is HPB 25-218 of 1056 South Boulevard. It is final approval to construct an addition to the rear elevation of the house, as well as to replace historic wood windows. The owner is Alexa Lashkajani, and the applicant is Alan Desayas of Avon Modular. Are there any conflicts of interest among the committee members for this case? Hearing none, Emily, may you please present the staff report and recommendation?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The subject property is a platted lot consisting of 0.15 acres. And on this property is a one-story, single-family house, which is a contributing building in the South Lake Morton Historic District. Built circa 1923 in the Craftsman bungalow architectural style, this house has an irregular plan and is of frame construction. The gabled front porch is supported by square columns on tapered plinths. Its exterior walls are clad in clapboard siding, and several historic wood double-hung sash and casement windows exist in 9/1, 9/9, and 9 light configurations. At the rear of the house is a detached wood frame accessory structure and carport with a gable roof. As a non-contributing accessory structure, it was approved to be demolished under Certificate of Review HPB 25-217. Also under this Certificate of Review, replacement of non-historic windows, a new deck on the south side of the house towards the rear of the structure, and the repair of the front porch columns were approved. And this slide just shows the existing floor plan and layout of the subject house and detached accessory structure. In place of the detached accessory structure, the applicant proposes to construct an addition of approximately 391 square feet, which will consist of a primary bedroom suite. The design and materials for the addition are intended to match the existing house and include a concrete stem wall foundation to match the raised foundation of the house, wood siding to match the existing, fiber cement trim, shingle roof, wood eave and fascia to match the existing, decorative wood beams in the gables, and vinyl single-hung sash windows with a 6/1 and 4/4 simulated divided light configuration, as well as transom windows with an 8-light simulated divided light configuration. This slide just shows the proposed addition, and you can also see the deck that was approved under minor review. And the site plan for the proposed addition shows building setbacks that comply with the Land Development Code's urban form standards. The applicant also requests to replace the existing historic wood windows with vinyl single-hung sash windows with a colonial-style 6/1 simulated divided light configuration in order to match the new windows in the addition. This is just or photos showing the front and somewhat sides of the existing house. And this request was evaluated using the standards and guidelines referenced here on this slide. And regarding the request for the addition, staff finds the requested addition is consistent with the standards as it does not disturb the spatial relationships that characterize the house, and the essential form and integrity of the subject house is maintained. The new addition is differentiated from the house by its subordinate massing and perpendicular orientation, which is similar to the orientation of the detached garage to be demolished. However, for further differentiation from the house, staff recommends not using a simulated divided light appearance on the building addition's windows, especially as the addition is located at the rear of the property and will not be highly visible from the street. Additionally, the proposed simulated divided light configuration of the windows on the addition are not consistent with the divided light configuration of the home's historic windows. In evaluating the proposed addition with the design guidelines, the materials of the addition reflect the materials of the existing house and meet the intent of the design guidelines. The scale of the proposed addition's windows, wall cladding, and roof pitch and form is consistent with the craftsman bungalow style of the subject house. Furthermore, the addition is appropriately placed on the rear elevation of the house. And regarding the request for replacement windows, typically this type of request can receive approval under minor review, which is a staff level review, if the request is justified and complies with the standards and guidelines. Historic windows are character defining features of a historic building, and the removal of repairable historic windows and installation of inappropriate replacement windows can adversely affect the architectural integrity of a building. As the request is not consistent with the standards and design guidelines, and staff was not provided adequate evidence to show that the historic windows are deteriorated beyond reasonable repair, this request could not be approved at the minor review level. Additionally, the proposed replacement windows do not match the divided light appearance of the historic double hung sash windows, which are 9/1 and 9/9 light configuration, and the casement windows, which are a 9 light configuration. For these reasons, staff recommends that the historic wood windows be repaired by a qualified window restoration professional instead of being replaced as requested. So staff recommends, number one, final approval of the requested addition with the following conditions to be reviewed and approved by staff prior to the issuance of a building permit. Windows shall be recessed to provide a shadow line, and windows shall not have a simulated divided light appearance. And number two, denial of the request to replace the historic wood windows. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Emily. Would the applicant please come up to the podium to speak in support of the request or provide additional information about the project? May you state your name and address?
Yeah, it's Alan Desayas with Avon Modular.
All right, and your address?
It's the address of the property is 1056 South Boulevard, Lakeland, Florida.
All right. Are you in agreement with the conditions recommended by staff?
Actually, we were hoping to look at replacing all the windows because we want to stay with the consistency of the historic preservation. And we discussed putting 6 panels on the new addition. However, on the existing house currently, there are 5 different windows. We have jalousie windows. We have a 12-panel window. We have 1 fixed window. I have a 4-panel window and a 9-panel window. And with the new addition and the investment that they're putting into the exterior of the building because they want to beautify that area because the house is in a great location. And that's where they wanted to put their investment dollars is to beautify the outside of the home right now because it's depressed looking right now. So our recommendation would be changing all the windows to stay consistent all the way around the entire house. And we feel that it would just help the community.
All right. Does the committee have any questions for the applicant regarding the request? I have some questions in regards to this, and you kind of touched on it for a second there. You said what I'm seeing is there is no rule to how many lights and configurations you have on them. Is that correct? You said there's about 5 different.
5 different windows on there, and they did have the house tented about 2-3 months ago because there is significant wood rot around those. So, we want to keep the same headers and everything and retrofit that and put in new windows there and keep the consistency of the window sizes throughout the entire house. We think it would just be a better presentation than having different sizes and so forth.
Can we quantify how many are historic versus how many aren't? Clearly, jalousies aren't.
Yeah, because
we wouldn't care if
jalousies
those
in the
got
picture.
replaced.
Yeah, so I think there were only 2 jalousie windows. There's already a replacement window in the upper right photo. That small window on the side of the house is a replacement window. And then on the north elevation, there is a fixed window. So those were all approved administratively to be replaced with a 6/1.
Okay. But somewhere in my brain, I thought we were just talking about like 2 street-facing windows.
Yeah, no. The applicant wishes to replace all of the windows in the house.
Right, but the others, are there any others on the sides or back that we have a concern about?
Because, I want
I
a
don't
more
think so.
nuanced than just a blanket no, because I would tend to agree with the windows based on the pictures that do appear to be somewhat original to the home. Like that looks like there was a fixed 9 light somewhere on there in the home. That looks original to the home. I see no reason why that wouldn't be, because it shows no evidence of being more modern. Those I see no reason to replace, but I agreed with jalousie, the fixed one. Those ones, those are not historic and do not really add to the character of the home. So I have no problem with those being replaced in any form. There just seems to be a middle ground of a more nuanced, don't replace these ones, but sure, replace these ones. And it may not be exactly what you all want with that, but we're trying to preserve the character of the building.
My concern is having different window sizes throughout. They are older windows. They have like an 1/8 of an inch glass, and I know the energy efficiency isn't as much of a concern from the historic side of things, but a lot of the windows have had wood rot and would need work there. So I'm just trying to see what would be the best aesthetic look in the historic community and having the same consistency of all the same windows to me would be aesthetically more pleasing than having like old windows here and then new windows. So I'm just trying to see what, we want it to be the best for the city of Lakeland also.
So you don't dispute staff conclusion that these windows could be fixed?
Well, no, there's a lot of wood rot in some of them, and some of them I could fix, and there's broken glass on some of them, so it's, in those windows, you can only fit 1/8 of an inch glass, so, and I know this isn't of grave concern, but normally when you do windows, we try to go to the latest of Florida building code, and those 1/8 of an inch windows are just, there's no energy efficiency, they're bad, and that's not the reason for the replacements. We want the consistency throughout the entire home. So when, people come by, it looks pleasing to the eye.
It's not a structural concern, it's an aesthetic concern.
It's more of an aesthetic concern that why we want to change everything, because there's just 5 different windows now, and we understand changing the jalousie windows, and then you have the new addition, you have new windows, then you have some old windows over here, and it just, I don't know if the look would be as pleasing.
It's not a question of whether they can be fixed or whether they are structurally unsound.
Well, there's windows that are rotted that really you would want to replace there, and then others that you would try to fix as best you can. But for the look and everything with all the different windows, I just think it would be nicer, and it would be a tremendous investment to change them all, because windows, as we know, are typically costly on projects.
Ms. Foster, the windows that have already been administratively approved are which ones specifically?
The jalousie windows, the fixed window, and that one small window on the south side elevation that
was a
has already been
replacement.
replaced.
In the
And so what does
jalousie
that-
windows, we have like about 5 or 6 of them on there. So you're changing almost, let's say 30 or 40% of the windows already.
Yeah, so
that
there,
would-
How many windows are left, Emily, after you've administratively
Started, how
approved?
many?
yeah, if I had to estimate, I would say about 8.
Okay, so when I ask for it perhaps to be more nuanced, are the ones that I am concerned about being non-historic and have no problems being replaced already administratively approved to be replaced? And so you are correct in denying the ones that are historic left, we're recommending to not be replaced?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was just based off of what our design guidelines state about historic windows, that basically the onus is on the applicant to prove that damage is such to the historic windows that they warrant replacement.
Would you like leeway to try to do that?
I'm just, I would match the same aesthetic look with the siding and the banding above the window. I'm just concerned with you have your new windows and your old windows, how that blend's gonna be. Will it be an eyesore in the community or not? That's my concern, and we just thought changing all the windows out would just benefit entirely for the city of Lakeland and for the client and all the way around. It'd just be a much better aesthetic look, we feel.
It sounds as though you have the majority of the windows, by quite a lot, are significantly contributing to the historic value and look of the house. And that it would seem to me that what you would want to do, and, clearly not my decision, but you would want to use a very careful touch in putting in the new windows that you're replacing the jalousies, et cetera, with, to match the ones that are there as closely as possible. What I was suggesting was that if you think that these are not structurally sound, do you need time to go out and make a case that somehow they can't be repaired?
I mean, the windows that are there now, the energy efficiency, and I know that doesn't weigh a lot, but they don't meet any of the Florida building codes of today's on a remodel and everything. I know that's not of concern, but I mean, you've got 1/8 of an inch glass. You can repair the windows so many times. What's going to happen down the road, 5-10 years? With the wood there, I mean, the glass, there's some that are, the glass is broken, so we would have to replace those panels of glass there. So and then with the new structure going in, you're gonna have new windows there. Will it clash with the old existing windows? I mean, there's a lot of concerns there from an aesthetic standpoint. We want to make this the best for our client and also for the city of Lakeland.
Well, what I'm hearing, though, is that the deterioration of the windows has not reached a point at which it is structurally.
Some of them have, yeah. Some of them have, and then some of them are okay also.
But this is in disagreement with the staff report, and what I'm asking is, would you like the time to go out and because it's up to you to come to us and say, here's evidence that the staff report is incorrect, and that in fact they are deteriorated to the point of that the structural integrity of the window is threatened, and you can bring that back to the board. Would you like time to do that?
Because I think what he's getting at is kind of where I'm kind of now more supporting of the staff recommendations because I don't see the evidence for that. And this is something we consistently hear from people as well, is they generally want to put new windows in because they believe that they're going to need no maintenance when they do that. And that is not true. You will have to maintain the paint on the trim. You will have to replace wood trim, which we require. Even Hardy, when you use their trim, you're going to eventually have to repaint and caulk around them within 5 to 10 years. So the idea that it's not maintenance free is really not a good argument with that.
I'm just trying to help the city of Lakeland because it's great that you guys make everything consistent. It beautifies the whole Dixieland area and so forth. And we want to make it consistent also, so it follows the historic guidelines and it does beautify that area. That's all we were trying to do.
To be frank, what makes it less beautiful is when people don't maintain their windows. And then they come to us and ask to replace them because they haven't been maintained. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy in that regards. The pictures that you're showing as the evidence simply need to have the paint scraped, repainted, and some areas recaulked. That is normal, expected maintenance for a home.
But like if you look at the top right-hand picture up there, and I know it's hard to see, but all those windows in that back area, not the front area where it comes out, but from the back over, those are jalousie windows. So those, you put new windows there and then you match it with the existing windows, and I'll try to follow that pattern that's there.
I think we're all kind of dancing around the fact that no, we don't care whether they don't match from that respect.
Okay, all right.
The old and the new, as long as they maintain the same configuration and are trimmed out in a way to maintain a shadow line, which is one of the conditions that comes in the recommendation with that's not an argument that really carries too much weight with us because this is Historic Preservation Board, not the Beautification Board.
I just wanted to interrupt for 1 minute. I wanted to recognize Marlena. I believe she had a question.
Okay, so I'm wanting to make sure I'm understanding like the position between, the request and staff recommendations, because it seems that there's a little bit of like, maybe for me, I just want to make sure I understand, because it seems to me that the staff's already approved replacing windows that were beyond repair or didn't meet up to the guidelines. So part of the property's already been granted that, yes, you can redo the windows. And the second part of this is there's windows like in the home, which we don't specifically know which ones are being replaced and have already been approved, and which ones are just needing repair. And for me, when I'm thinking about aesthetics and is this really gonna change the look of the house that dramatically, when I don't know where they're going, are we replacing two, so for example, if I'm looking at the house and all the front of the windows of this house are old, they're all historic, right? I would much rather see those brought up to repairable standard, right? They will all look uniform and the same. Now, if I have the front of the house, there's 4 windows, which I don't know what the issue is, or which ones are being replaced in location. If you have one here that's gonna be replaced and the one next to it's gonna be repaired, the one next to it, that to me would prove inconsistent. And I would wanna see where they would be located around the house. Is it gonna be all uniform on the front, or are these just are the windows that are being replaced just along the side? We won't see them anyway, so it's not gonna affect the curb. Because I understand you're wanting to have uniformity and you want to make it better. But realistically, if all the house, the whole front of the house and all the visibility or all the historic windows and you've brought them up to standard where it's all, nice, then to me, that would be the best option, right? When it comes to preservation. If they're on the side if the replacement windows are gonna be on the side of the house, we're not seeing them from the road, then to me, that doesn't make a whole lot of, that doesn't bear on if staff's already approved that they're not repairable. And so I would just wanna know, I don't feel like we have enough information. And like for me personally, to validate or invalidate, yes, this is gonna look dumb if all the windows aren't replaced or not. Does that make sense, y'all?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in the same boat. I don't have
too.
enough information to validate your concerns and also to make a decision here. Like, I feel like I understand some of it, but I'm taking a lot of assumptions. It's hard to understand which ones are being.
No, I understand. This whole side of the house right here where it says floor plan is exposed to any car that drives up South Boulevard. And it's visible.
Which is what we have to care about, is the two sides of the street, right? Is this corner lot?
those
Do we have a street view?
Do we have a site plan?
Do we have a,
Yeah, so
'Cause
what,
I blame
Actually, I'll go
Are
back a
those
little
the
bit.
8 windows we're talking about?
there's actually more I counted. There's about 15 original windows, if my count is right. Let's see here.
A lot of historic homes don't have uniform windows.
Yeah, so.
My house, very few of the windows are the same size, same light configuration. That's part of the charm.
So
Yes.
in looking at the existing floor plan, the core of the original house, this is an older addition, and then this is the accessory structure. And looking at the historical core of the house, there does appear to be 15 windows. This window in the bathroom is the one replacement window, the small replacement window. The jalousies are in this rear section, and I believe the fixed window is as well.
Which he can change all of those.
Right.
And I believe behind that
Approval.
sink's a jalousie also.
He can
Jealous
change
has
all the
been
ones in the
approved.
back.
Oh, okay.
Right there
Over here?
too, yes.
Okay. So there looks to be 14 windows then. 14 historical windows.
So bedroom 2 are historical?
Yes.
Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 14. Okay.
So I think it's the problem is still the same. It's like, I don't know which ones are, like, I can't look at this proposal and know exactly which ones are being, like, so it looks like the ones in the addition, we're definitely replacing, right? We know that, right? And then what you guys are saying is you can see the addition and the original house structure from the road. Is that what you're saying?
On this side, yes.
The side that's like down,
And
okay,
South
yeah.
Boulevard is right up here to the front of the porch, and when you drive up, it's wide open.
Okay, so what you're saying is like the street view from the house, you can see all the way up.
All of it, yeah, all that whole side.
Okay, so I understand like the need to want to update and make it all look uniform and all that good stuff. I have a house that's built in 1925, and I have my front face of my windows, I have historic windows on this side, and then I have replacement windows on this side. I mean, would it be better if it was all the same? I don't think so. I think it would, but I can't tell you because I don't know like how much different it's gonna look. Like I said, like Caesar said, I don't think we have enough info to really.
And also, I mean, the idea that if everything looks the same, but it's gonna look better for the community, that it's on the eye. Because at the end of the day, we also want to keep what's there to make sure that we have a timestamp of the times that were before us, right? So when we buy into these communities, and I appreciate people buying into them, but they got to understand too that sometimes you got to maintain what's there. Because if not, everything's going to look cookie cutter and then we're going to lose our history. So I understand the concerns about energy efficiency and all of those things, but there's also ways that you can help with that, aside from like just changing all the windows, right? Like so, but I do, if there's a valid case that these windows are beyond repair, the applicant will need to provide that to help your case. Like right now, I gotta trust your word. I'm not saying I don't,
Yes.
but it's hard for me to tell the board, hey, can we take a look at maybe helping him do this. But
Well,
there's not
Assessor,
enough
what we
information.
are doing, they're gonna, in the old historics, they have to sand the exterior, and that's a big job in itself. Sand it down, get keep the existing wood siding there. They want to make that look nicer too. So they're going above and beyond to make this look good. I think it's for the benefit of all of us. Also, the window sizing, there is a transom they had to change, like you said, Natalie, different sizes of the window do add character, and I agree 100%. So the bathroom will have different window sizes. You have a transom that will have a different sizes. So we will have different characteristics to meet that historic guideline.
But I think what Caesar's saying, what they're all saying is that part of the charm of a historic district is seeing the differences in the years that things were added. That's what makes the historic district, that's what makes everybody love the old houses, those, the windows and stuff. So I would agree with everybody that we just need a little bit more detail to see the windows and to be able to explain that these are rotting and we need to fix them. And if not, then I think we preserve them.
Yeah, because so what you've given us we've had problems with this in the past of what are we approving? And then also the feeling of things get approved and it comes back and it's like, oh, that's not what we, I don't want to say not what we meant, but just clearly us as a board and what ends up happening during construction did not match both expectations. So I certainly have wanted to be a little more explicit. So I know what would help me with this is either the elevations being marked with this one's historic, and there's also which ones have been already approved administratively, or by extension, having, for example, a window schedule. Professionally, when I do a project, I have a window schedule, and I would mark, I've actually given Emily this for my own work, has been a window schedule that says this is historic, this is what it currently is, this is what I would like to replace it with, and then you give us the evidence that it needs to be, you can't repair it anymore with that, because I'm not wholly against that there are some windows that do get to the point where it's beyond repair with that, so we're certainly sympathetic and understanding of that. We just, what are we agreeing to? I kind of agree with them. And that's what I was trying to get out of Emily, and we're struggling. She's counting windows. I don't want to be in here in the meeting counting windows. I would rather you present us with a report with it so we know exactly what you're asking for on that.
And I would like to see a view of exactly what you see as you drive towards
This
that area.
window right here is easily repairable.
Easily.
Is it that top photo there would be what we see from the road, right? So I think
Yes.
what we're asking is, we need to know, are you planning on, you want to replace all those windows, and you've had like the addition, you've already approved those, but out of the historic windows from the original structure, are there any there that have to be replaced due to, deterioration, damage, or can they be repaired? Because if I'm thinking about enforcing our guidelines, the original structure, if they're all good, just fix them and make them beautiful, and your addition can be, that will increase the uniformity just by updating the windows as per already approved, so I think, but if you have windows there that are like completely deteriorated and it's gonna look really ridiculous, we wanna know that so we can take that into context, but we just don't have it.
Understand.
Yeah, so have we all spoken our piece about this on the windows?
Well, we'll discuss it and then we'll decide if we decide to move forward or if we try to see what we can do to repair those to the best of our ability.
When you restore the windows that are historic, it's a really good feeling, and it is best for the neighborhood and it's best for the historic districts. And if you need some numbers or something of people who do that, we can be happy to provide that too.
Okay, no, we understand. I'll discuss it with them and see what, if, I haven't had them moisture tested or anything like that, so I would have to go further and do an investigation on the windows to see what condition they really are in.
Yeah, I know my neighbors, when they replaced theirs, they were surprised. They actually had to replace several of the footers in real time while the window guys were there trying to install.
Oh, wow.
As they pulled the old windows out, he realized how much the wood had rotted out.
Yes. All right, well, we appreciate your time, and we'll discuss it and then see what we can do further. But, you know, ultimately, we're all on the same team here together, so we
Thank you,
appreciate
Alan.
it.
Appreciate
All right,
that.
thank
I
you.
did have one question before you're gone,
Yes.
this is looking at the elevations for the addition. You are not showing trim boards on the corners, which reflect the home, which I absolutely, I like that. We usually do like that you try and match something that's characteristic of the home. But I want to be clear with, again, what we're approving with that is normally, for example, if you're replacing this with, if you're going with Hardy, to get the lap siding appearance with that, they will not warranty you doing it that way without the trim boards. So
Yeah, this was a
is there-
fast rendition of the elevation just to get into the meeting.
yes,
So
so,
he didn't go full force on the elevation, so it will look different.
so it will have trim boards on the
Yes.
corners with that. Okay, that's what I wanted to be clear
100%.
with, so that when we drive by and sit there, oh, I really hoped that it had the same, because it's really hard to do that with the old siding to get them to butt up well, and be watertight with that. So that's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
you
and
know.
he had in the elevations, those window sizes were wrong there too, on that one, on the,
So
on
if
the
it's-
east elevation.
So it sounded like, are you going to want to come back to us and have a more nuanced window evaluation for us, in which case that can be added, so we're approving what's going to be out there?
Okay. I'm thinking, I'm gonna discuss it and then, see if they wanna, refinish the windows or have them tested and everything and see if we need to take this any further or not.
Hey, Alan, I think what the board is wondering is, would you like them to postpone this request instead of,
Instead of taking
Or
a
would you
vote,
want to?
Make a
to
decision.
table it.
No, we want to continue.
okay, continue, postpone, okay.
Okay, but
Okay, so do we want to, whether they are withdrawing it for the next month, or
Approving per
or
staff.
are we,
I think,
or can we table? Because we, for example, don't, like, I do want to give you the opportunity to prove to us that there are windows beyond repair so that you can get them in there, in which case we'd have a denial on the records if we approve per staff recommendations. But if you withdraw or we continue this to the next, you have the opportunity to respond.
Is the only thing on the table right now the windows?
Oh, there's the two pieces. They're asking, are we approving one or disapproving the
We could
other?
approve one and table two.
Yeah, is that what you're asking?
Yes,
Okay.
if it's just the windows we're discussing.
So are we just tabling the windows is what he wants to know?
I mean, there's two staff recommendations. One's a denial and one's an approval. What we're trying to do is give you time to give us evidence that the historic windows are beyond repair. That if you feel
Right.
like you need that for so we can table this maybe for a month, the
But there's-
next meeting, then you have time to do your investigation, get the evidence you need to come back to us and provide, hey, look, these are the windows that are historic that I'm marking here are beyond repair. And this is the evidence. This is window one. Look at this, look at that. I have my reports and all of that. If you feel like that's going to help you, instead of we just deny that completely, and then you need to go back to a different process to come back again, right?
Caesar, we could approve one and table the two.
Table, yeah.
Right.
Without denying it.
yes.
So the first staff recommendation is just to approve the change out of the prior edition and the new edition windows. But they put requests on it, right? So things that you have to do. But the second one is to deny the main home historic windows, correct?
Yes.
So we could approve the first staff recommendation and then say, hey, we want to come back and give you the opportunity to revisit the second.
So we'd essentially be giving conceptual approval to you doing your addition. We would just be tabling the discussion on the window replacement. So you'd be able to move forward with the rest of the permitting of it, but without the windows.
So just to clarify, conceptual approval is a different label. Conceptual approval would require final approval later. I think you mean conditional.
Conditional approval,
Conditional,
okay.
yeah. And-
Yeah, I
and-
wanted, so that they can move forward.
To clarify, that number one is approving all the staff-reviewed windows that have been approved administratively for replacement.
And,
So
yeah,
we're
we're good
only
with
down
that.
to the historic ones at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the only issue we have right now is the historic ones.
Second, yeah, on the main house. So I move that we would approve the first staff recommendation, and as long as you're okay, with
Yes.
not tabling that, so you can keep moving forward on your project, and then let's come back and discuss the main house if the homeowner decides they want to do that.
And if I get it, well, I want to do what you're saying, but if I get it, someone out there and inspect it and he says, hey, these can be refurbished, I don't think we need to come back through
You
here
could
and
just
waste
let
anyone's
Emily-
time, I think.
right?
I want to be respectful to y'all too.
Yeah, you could just let her know, and she,
Okay, okay.
we could just, it would be null and void. You would basically be withdrawing your request at that point, and you would
Right.
be able to repair.
Okay, gotcha.
And I can come out with you and do a site visit, and we can look at each historic window.
Okay.
So that we can document, the
Well,
condition.
I'll do what y'all mentioned. I think that's good. Okay, yes. We appreciate that.
All right, and before we entertain that motion, do got to go through the other motions of the procedures here. With that, we keep getting ahead of ourselves with that. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in support or against the request? All right, seeing no one else, we will, if there are no further questions from the committee or comments from the public, the applicant may be seated, and the public comment portion of this request is now closed.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any further discussion, or shall we proceed with the motion from Marlana?
Could we articulate the motion again? I think what's needed is a motion that excludes any treatment of any non-administratively approved windows.
So my motion was to approve the staff recommendation, which is the first one, which is the final approval of the requested addition with those said conditions in A and B, to approve that as she has stated, and then a continuation of the second. That was my motion.
Second.
All right, and we have a second. All right, and for that, we will perform the roll call vote. Marlana?
Yes.
Yes,
My
for your motion.
Approving my motion, yes.
Bruce?
For the motion.
Ricardo? Natalie?
4.
Chris?
4.
Myself, I am for the motion, and Cesar?
4.
All right, and so that motion is carried with the stipulations as previously said for you to come back with us on the historic windows.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Helen.
All right, and so that got us through our cases today. There's no other business listed on our agenda, but does the committee have any other items they would like to discuss for the good of the committee? Hearing none, I will just repeat what I did last time we are going to have our meeting after our regular meeting next month with that, and I encourage everyone to look through at the application process. I have been gathering my notes for a while of things that I've noticed in and around and through our meetings that I think could be improved with that, and that's what I want to have a productive discussion on how we can improve so that the public also has an easier time dealing with this and we are happier with what our outcomes.
And I will send a reminder email and just ask for any, feedback initially so that we can discuss that at our workshop.
Okay, I'll make sure that I have my stuff gathered in time for that. All right, so with that, may I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Second?
All right, and with that, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
Holidays, Merry Christmas, all that.